Welcome into College Football Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We have another job opening to discuss as Jimmy Lake has been fired as the head coach for the Washington Huskies out in the Pac-12. I didn't realize this. I knew it was quick, but he only coached in 13 games. Kind of wild. Obviously, the Pac-12 had a super shortened season last year. They only played in 4 games. Washington did due to a COVID-shortened season, and then they also had more COVID issues. He went 3-1 last year, only 4-5 this year. Did recently have a sideline incident with a player, but Washington is not choosing to hire him for cause. They will pay the buyout, which I believe is $9 or $10 million for Jimmy Lake. And what's crazy is he never even coached in the Apple Cup against Washington State, and neither did recently let go coach Nick Rolovich for Wazoo. So kind of a wild fun fact there. But not so fun is Jimmy Lake not working out at Washington. But luckily for you guys, I've got 10 candidates to potentially replace him as the next football coach for the Huskies. So what do you guys think? Was firing Jimmy Lake after just 13 games the right move? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let us know down in the comments. All right, let's get to 10 potential candidates to replace him. Dave Aranda, the head coach at Baylor, I have him at number 10. Now, I personally would have him higher, but he's recently getting some buzz from USC, and there's sounds like some mutual interest there. So I think Washington will and should have interest. But I think Aranda is going to have some better opportunities. Obviously, he's done great at Baylor. Went 2-7 in his first year last year, but he's got the Bears squarely in the Big 12 title hunt this year. Just beat Oklahoma. But again, he's probably going to have some better options. Maybe even LSU, where he was the defensive coordinator when they won the national title 2 years ago. Brent Brennan at San Jose State, 12-6 over the last 2 years for San Jose State. He's done a good job rebuilding that program. It took a while. 4, 5, 6 years, but he's got them in a good place there in the Mountain West. I feel like Washington might be a bit of a big leap for Brent Brennan, but obviously West Coast, he's got some local recruiting ties. That could be an option for the Huskies as well. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Who should be Washington's next football coach? Let us know in the comments. If you get hit with the YouTube ad break, just reply and throw a name out there on who should be the next head coach for the Washington Huskies. This is a curveball, but when The Athletic mentions it, Bruce Feldman, I'm at least intrigued. Chip Kelly, the head coach at UCLA, hiring Chip would be very bizarre to say the least, because obviously, 10, 11 years ago, he had the Oregon Ducks rolling up there in the Pac-12 North, but then he leaves for the NFL. That doesn't work out in Philadelphia or with San Francisco. He slowly turned around UCLA. I guess they're 6-4 this year. They're probably going to win their final 2 games to go 8-4. So, 8-9 win season's pretty good, but the first 3 years they were pretty underwhelming. I think Washington could do better. This is not Chip Kelly of 2010. He's a good coach, a good play caller, but there's better options out there, right? You can do better than Chip Kelly in 2021, can't you? I think this would be a little bit bizarre if they decided to go in that direction. Now, today's show is sponsored by BetUS, and folks, if you want to make money all football season long, bowl season's just around the corner, championship Saturday as well. Get going with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. You got to use our link below to take advantage of the promo deal, which is by going to chatsports.com/bet, promo code CHAT125. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus, meaning when you sign up, say you put $100 in, they're going to give you an additional $125 for free. Get going with BetUS and make money all football season long. Okay, number 7, Jeff Grimes, the offensive coordinator at Baylor. That feels more likely and plausible than Dave Aranda. Grimes, I like his system. He runs some spread concepts, but he'll get under center and pound the football as well. Multiple type of offense with some pro concepts, which I'm a fan of. I think that he's going to have an opportunity soon-ish to be a head coach. We'll see if Washington is a potential fit. How about Jonathan Smith, the head coach at Oregon State? Give the guy some credit, man. The Beavers, 6-4 this year. Their offense has been good the last couple of years. Their offensive coordinator, who his name's drawn a blank for me, but he's been getting some coaching buzz as well. I think Jonathan Smith is a name to keep an eye on over the next couple of coaching cycles. I don't know if this will be the year he gets a better job than Oregon State, but to have the Beavers bowl eligible and in the mix in the Pac-12, that's pretty impressive work. Oregon State is a tough job to win at, and he's doing it this year. Subscribe to us here at Chat Sports before we get to our top 5 candidates at Washington. If you want more college football coverage, we are the channel for you. Weekly college football playoff rankings live on Tuesday nights with me and James Yoder, so stay tuned for that every single Tuesday. Plus, coaching hot boards are coming out all over the place because a ton of jobs have been open. We've already done videos for LSU, USC, TCU. We had a video for Texas Tech before they made a hire. We're going to do one for Virginia Tech because they just parted ways with Justin Fuente. Florida, we did a video for. Penn State might open up. Lots of jobs are on the market or could be open, so subscribe, and we'll continue to have you guys covered with the latest buzz around the college football world. Okay, top 5 here. Kalen DeBoer, the head coach at Fresno State. He's done a really good job there, having them as one of the top group of 5 programs over the past couple of years. They beat UCLA and Chip Kelly this year in the Rose Bowl. That was a nice win for him. He's done a good job developing their quarterback this year as well, which I'm obviously very high on. Jay Norvell, the head coach at Nevada. He's a little older. Executive producer Brett's like, stop being ageist. It's not about being ageist, but if you're going to hire an older candidate, I want a guy who's super proven. Norvell's good. Is he good enough to hire a 58, 59-year-old at Washington? He wouldn't be super high on my list, but regional ties are there, obviously. He had some time in the Big 12 at Oklahoma and I believe a year at Texas as an assistant, so that's valuable. We'll see. I've got him at number 4. How about Chris Petersen? Hey, he resigned a couple of years ago, basically said he was tired and needed a break. Well, maybe he's not tired anymore. He's been doing TV for Fox Sports 1. Listen, I'll be clear here. If Chris Petersen is in, I'm in. Like, if you can bring him back and he's down, hire him, right? I've only got him at 3 because I'm not convinced he wants to coach again, but he resigned. He didn't retire. There is a key difference there at the end of the day. So, basically, he's left the door open. We'll see. But Chris Petersen took this program to the college football playoff, won the Pac-12 twice, won the Pac-12 North 3 times. So if he's down, I'm down. What do you guys think? Would you bring him back if he's down to come back? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I think it'd be a home run to bring back Chris Petersen, who obviously did a great job for Washington and Boise State before that. Okay, 2 candidates here. Joe Moorhead, the offensive coordinator at Oregon. He's got that offense playing really well this year, led by Anthony Brown, their quarterback. I like Moorhead. I know it didn't work out at Mississippi State, but maybe that was a culture fit issue. He was good at Penn State before taking the job in Starkville. Now he's doing a good job at Oregon. I think he'll get a second chance as a head coach. And regionally, I think Washington makes sense because he's been a part of that Oregon staff that has recruited really well in the Pacific Northwest and on the West Coast. Okay, number 1, Kalani Sitake, the head coach at BYU. The Athletic has mentioned him as a high candidate for the Huskies. And what can you say about what he's done for Brigham Young? When they lost their head coach to Virginia a few years ago, I was like, oh, man, BYU could be in trouble. Sitake has elevated that program. He's done a great job there. Last year with Zach Wilson, they were terrific. This year, they're, 8-2, I believe. They're doing really well in the top 20 of the college football playoff rankings as of now. So I'm a big fan of him. They replaced Wilson, basically no problem. They've had quarterback injuries this year, and they just keep plugging away. So I think it would be a good fit. I think he's got the West Coast ties, and we'll see what happens, man. Washington is a good job. I'd say a top 25 job in college football, but there's a lot of good openings this year. So if you're the Huskies, you got to get in the mix and try to start interviewing some of these candidates. So what do you think? Who should be Washington's next head coach? We asked you earlier. We're asking you again. Remember, this is the pinned comment on today's video, so you guys can reply right there. Who should be the next head coach at the University of Washington?